Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. It's November 25th. Tuesday? Yep, Tuesday. Happy Thanksgiving. We've got Thanksgiving on Thursday. Markets closed on Thursday. Short week this week, low volume. People are on vacation. So you just got to be careful. Choppy, grindy. We're going to review the 0-day options today. I took on SPY and the small account challenge. There are actually some pretty nice setups today, but with the lack of volume, you really just have to be more patient for it to kind of move. You're in position and it just kind of sits around and builds liquidity for a while before it actually gets to it. So let's review today. So this was very wedgy beginning of the day. Not to say you couldn't have taken some trades here. On the 30-minute, we opened basically right at a resistance. Here's Eric's chart. He's SPY day trading on YouTube. On the 30-minute, we opened right here at the top of this red resistance, and we were below this green buying panel. So right up here, it's a blue resistance, it's magenta resistance, it's even close to that green resistance. And it just broke this steep green buying. So a lot of different resistances there. I just checked Eric's trades and he actually got puts right here. So I think he's probably scaled down for that trade because there's no structure. He's just kind of doing it based on the 30-minute and the resistances. So it came up and came down, and then he didn't start selling until here and here. I think he had like 1,000% actually at the bottom there, which is crazy. I did chart it, so I got the white and then I got purple. And whenever I see like steep selling like this, I feel like pretty often, if it's early in the day and if I don't have other structure around, like if it breaks it, pretty often that's a nice trade to the opposite direction. Even if it's a Zoomy or a retracement or whatever, it usually has a pretty good retrace. So today was no different. That was a nice bounce retrace, and then I consider it the same way this way. I'm like, well, no, I'm just gonna start throwing out some random trades in there. But if I normally trade with more contracts, it would be easier because then I could just scale way down for these trades, just to grow kind of confidence and have some exposure. But since I'm trading basically minimal contracts all the time, I can't scale down. So a little tricky to do that. But yeah, so either one of those trades, and you can see just turned into this wedge right here, green and red, which was easy to see, easy to read, which is nice. Right here on this break, I wanted it. I wanted to retrace though. Never give me the retrace. It happens pretty often, so that's why oftentimes I'll take a break, and then I will maybe take quick profits, and then sometimes I'll just keep going. Oftentimes. And then other times it will come back down and retest, and then I'm red on it. So yeah, kind of tricky to manage it if you're just getting on a break. Not ideal. Let's review the trades though. So very red day for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. I went through my max loss. That's because I was in a trade and I flipped, and I wasn't looking at my P&L to see if I was at max loss. I didn't think I was, but I was, and that's part of the dangers right now because IV's still high because IV's still high. Like even though it's a green day, the range is huge. We had like 11 points today, almost 12 points bottom to top. So huge day. High IV, and there's not much volume, so it's choppy, and inside candles and all of that is just. So I'm not able to basically. I just can't afford to trade as much. So I hit my max loss pretty early on, which sucked. I was very upset with what happened here. I'll show you. 1024. I got a put. Oh yeah, this was a dumb little trade. I kind of knew it like right away. I feel like. Yeah, let me show you. Oh, it was breaking here. Yep. So I had the green. I had this green here. I didn't have this one. Then I didn't. Then I duplicated it. There wasn't structure, but I was kind of seeing it breaking the green here. Without structure though is what hurt me. So I got it here on the retrace. It was kind of broken and then kind of retrace. I think I also moved the green a little bit. But yeah, you can see I stopped out of that one pretty quick. That was a pretty ugly loss. I stopped out in the next minute. I got a bad fill on that. That one was probably fully red. And then this one, of course, I probably got filled up here somewhere. So just the big range we're in is still crazy. 6, 6, 7, 17. Yeah, this was like half a point of a loss, basically. That's not even like candle, like half a candle. So sorry, big range, gnarly. 71 cents to 57 cents. So expensive contracts still too. Those were 663s. So that was a target for a 5-day. Next trade was 1049, in and out in the same minute candle, in and out in 20 seconds. 62 cents to 58. So this one wasn't quite as bad. 49. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. This was the one that was very frustrating. That one wasn't. I was like, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. I knew that. Wasn't patient enough for it to break out of the wedge properly. So a little inverse head, shoulder. This grabbing that shoulder, breaking the red. And you can put in this for kind of the precision. Anyways, 1049, I got a call. Okay, so it came up, made the cup up here. So at this point, I'm like, I'm in my head. I'm like, I'm wanting to scale up. I'm wanting to stretch myself. You know, with my position sizing, I want to stretch. I have more confidence. I want to just leverage into it, basically. I don't feel like I went too crazy, but since the IV is high, contracts are expensive, it was just, I don't know. I don't even really know the price of the contract still because I'm trading on delayed data now on E-Trade. Bought one at 1049, bought another one at 1049. 62 cents was the first one. So what I really wanted was green. This would be my stop. This line right here would be my stop, or this green. So any of these lines down here would be my stop. And, you know, you don't know if it's going to get there. That's where I wanted to open it, though. Came down here and made a nice big candle. Considered getting it there, but I just kind of waited, and then it made a nice green. I'm like, oh boy. Then it's starting to build liquidity on this red, which if it breaks that, then I'll go long. But I'm hoping it'll come down here and give me a better entry. Anyways, it went, and I didn't want to get on the breakout. I exercised discipline. And this was, yeah, I don't think I had the white actually at that point. Yeah, I didn't have this white at that point, so profit target would have just been after a couple big green candles, I suppose. Or maybe Eric had it there. I could have checked his. So yeah, this trade is, that was confusing. So you saw this. I'm looking for retrace now. Here's the breakout, and I'm looking for a retrace trade. Couple problems with this. One, it didn't build much liquidity up here, so that looks much more like a head than it would be an inverse shoulder. Another problem on the 30-minute. Well, it didn't seem like a problem at the time, but what time is that at? Is that here? Yeah, on the 30-minute, to me it looked like we're breaking magenta because we're way up here. This is a full body candle. It's way up here. We're breaking, given the candle hadn't closed on the 30-minute. No, it had. No, it hadn't closed. So I was like, I guess it could wick. It could end up just being a wick up there, and that's if it closes down here. I was like, that doesn't mean it's not necessarily going to go, but anyways, up here I'm thinking retrace. Okay, this could be a buy. It retesting this, I could start buying there. Retesting this red, I could start buying more there. Green would probably be my stop, or red would be my last stop. So if I can get way down there, then yeah, I'll buy it. Pretty big candles coming down. Definitely looks like a head and shoulder. And then it wicking also. It ended up wicking because once it's down here, that candle body up there is just a wick, so it's below magenta. However, I still was thinking good, but these are things in the back of my head when I was like scaling in for this retest. So 1049. Yeah, on this candle, I got it like right here. I got one, that was my first one, for 62 cents. Got another one on that same candle when it came further down, fully retesting. That was 58 cents. And then got one more at 52 on this candle. So showing it's bouncing on this red. And at the time I didn't feel like I was overly scaled and like nervous or anxious or anything. Like it didn't feel like that. I was pretty confident in it. I didn't like quite how far it retraced and those other factors on the 30-minute that kind of gave me some doubt, and as well as the lack of shoulder up here. But I was like, you know what, it's still good. I have pretty clear stops here. But then it started grinding around and like it's just writing all this liquidity. And I think if I had one contract, I maybe would have been a little more loose on it. But I just, yeah, I was like, this thing was coming down. It broke the green. This is a big full body red candle here. I was like, that's my stop. I thought even if it is going to come down here, it might bounce. That's why I was planning on closing out actually. Once it started grinding down this, even though potentially that should make me more bullish, the fact that it's flipping that into such good support. And it was, but it wasn't moving. But I was thinking it could very well bounce before it comes down and make a little nested head and shoulder. It doesn't have to, and that's why when I did this big red here, I closed it. And I was literally looking just for a little bounce like this to close it out, just to get break even or a little profit. If I just waited a couple more seconds, what would have happened? Would have done this. I would have closed one of them and then probably done a break even on the other two. So it actually would have been profitable because they were pretty green right here because of all the averaging down. Not to say I would have closed all of them right here. I think I would have closed one for profit and then probably stopped out of the other two. But this ended up being a big red. This put me at max loss right here after those other tiny trades. Yeah, so closed out there, 39 cents, just awful slippage, and closing on a red candle. And yeah, I mean, this is what, 663, 669, so half a point. And then it reversed and it started going up, and I'm not happy here. Because, well, so after this candle did this, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be flexible. It's starting to sell. So what I do, I flipped into puts. Yep, I got whipsawed there. I just got one. 59 cents at 10.56. So candle's probably somewhere around here. It started rallying, then this candle, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Closed out for 46 cents. So 59 to 46 just on that trade. Not happy. I was not happy. It did exactly what I thought I was going to do. It just stopped me out. I didn't have the bottom of this for a stop. Yeah, futures would have been easier today for sure. Not to say that this would have worked any different, but it's, yeah. So yeah, had calls here, went up, got puts, closed both, and I'm at max loss, and I'm just not happy. And it continues to grind. That would have been hard to manage through all of this for sure. I mean, I pretty much was checked out at that point. But I think I did end up doing another trade or two. It's like I really like I need to stop. So I did. I did one more, I think. Let's see. No, there was that put. Yeah, I did two, technically two more. And this next one was actually a green trade. I was pretty much doing one trade. I was like, I'm just gonna get a quick little scalp green trade. And then I did one more and turned that green trade red. But 11:20, I got a call. There's nice setups here. Like in hindsight, it looks so much easier, but it's so slow today. But you have a nice break on red here, completing the cup, retesting red perfectly. Yeah. Let's see, 11:20. Call. Yeah, this time I did take the break. That's because I missed it. I missed it here. I was waiting for a retest, and here I was like, screw it, I'm just taking the break. So I took the break and I was quick on profits, which I'm happy I was. I was 61 cents. I got a nasty fill on this thing because this thing went up like 75 cents. I didn't want to close it at high of day. I was a little stubborn. I was like, I'm gonna wait for a red candle or a break of orange. And so I closed here and ended up being 66 cents. So percentage wise, it's fine. 61 cents to 66. That's what happens when I buy calls on a green candle and sell them on a red candle. So regardless, it was a green trade and I was happy about it. And then, yeah, retested here perfectly. Yeah. I guess I wanted a little bigger retrace maybe. Yeah, that's why I put this blue line in here. I wanted to retrace bigger for me to go long. Like here, retrace bigger than I wanted. Here, didn't retrace enough. Yeah. This next trade is pretty red. This is crazy. 1133, 1134. I was in calls. So here, yep. This candle was breaking magenta. I was trying to take the break. And I closed it here. Just on this little tiny bit right here. Just bad slippage. 71 cents to 60 cents. So the loss on here was greater than the profit from here to here. When it's basically just a chop. When this candle ended up flipping red and wicking, and this candle opened below here, I'm like, all right, it's gonna keep building liquidity, and so I jumped out. Yeah, so that was that trade, and then yeah, I was done. Here was finally, I was still at buying power, but I'd already maxed my loss today, so I just stopped. I exercised discipline. And then finally, it kind of made its move right here. So. Trading through here was a little grindy, a little choppy, and then here was pretty simple continuation up to 20-day, which is what I was looking for. All the way back here. Once it did this, and I was looking for the retest, it climbed back up to 20-day. And in hindsight, sure, it would have been great. Futures, whatever, the spreads. Yeah, actually, I did take a call credit spread on Webull. I was just so upset with my other account that I was like, all right, I just want to open up a spread. And I didn't have the patience for it. I was probably a little emotionally vulnerable. So I was like, this isn't breaking right here. I think it was where I took it. Like, it's not breaking, it's rejecting. Because I just got stopped there. And I was like, all right, I'm going to open up a call credit spread. I put a limit order. It came down, and then it filled it on here. I was like, because it's going to, it's going to retracement trade, whatever. Still bullish, but on the 30-minute, we could definitely still be rejecting at that point. Because there was another resistance right there, and that's what made me so hesitant to go long. It was a green resistance. So I did a call credit spread right here, and then stopped it here. Once that candle closed above that red, I was bullish, and so I decided to close that call credit spread. Small loss on the spreads, but I had the right idea. I want to do spreads on days like this. It's so nice. It's even nicer than futures because. It's decaying. Even if it's going sideways, futures, it actually needs to go in your direction, especially if you're a little bit out of the money. I think these were 670, so as long as it stayed above here, it's max profit, which definitely did. But I would have closed it anywhere up here around 20-day. Would have been probably 80% of the profit. Yeah, I guess, I should have patience on that credit spread. I was a little, emotionally taxed. So, and today I was planning on doing other stuff, so I was kind of trying to get my trading done and expecting it to just be grindy. Definitely, I wasn't trying to wait around for something, so I kind of rushed that. When I don't think I would have opened it here on this like white retest, but potentially I would have opened it here. I don't know. There might not have been another opportunity where I was comfortable to open up a put credit spread for the longs. I wanted to here, but it never retraced enough, and then here it retraced too little. That's where you have the kind of the channels, which helps, but with low volume, they kind of aren't respected as much because you can kind of deviate from them a bit, and you end up wedging more and chopping more, so just a little harder to see maybe. I don't know, but yeah, I'm fine now. It's annoying. It's kind of scaling up, which I shouldn't be. I think I'm just gonna stick back to one contract. But when that's because Ivy's still high, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, they're the trades. Red day. One contract would have been better, but I kind of just want to one and done it. So that's part of my thinking with scaling up. Also, like, find a good trade, have a lot of conviction that I'm willing to have more contracts and just go for it. And that's what this was. That's why I was all these different targets for opening, like starting here and then here and then here. And then it's just that one wick that got me out, because this would have ended up being actually a fine trade. I wouldn't have held for all this, but it would have been green instead of huge red trade. So yeah, those wicks get me sometimes. Like, I have it in my notes, wait for candles to close. It's just, I think part of the reason I didn't was, again, because of the sizing. I'm not sure though. Yeah, I mean, it's so far down here. I didn't think it'd retrace that far. I really didn't. But technically we had the green down here on those wicks, which I hadn't tested since here. And it not only tested, it went way through it. I had more patience on opening, but again, like right here, I had too much patience and it didn't come down as far as I wanted. I was definitely going to open if it came down here. It just made this little funny little inverse head and shoulder. So recency effect, I guess, letting this affect here. But if I'm not catching this retrace, then what am I going to catch? I guess here, if I'm going for the breakout. It did retest there nice, but I don't know if I would have taken that. Yeah, maybe I would have. But then this is just a grind. I don't know if I would have even. Yeah, and then I was gone for all that. It did bounce up on 20-day. Now it's finding its support. That's crazy. Yeah, pretty bullish. I mean, big day on SPY, 12 points. And then I charted this, which Eric Number probably had earlier, but I mean, this was a nice little inverse head and shoulder here on 20-day, breaking red, if you see it. Break-in, retesting, and right on 20-day is a nice support, and then big green candles. So I maybe would have caught this if I was around. Trying to think. I mean, I was done trading, so I guess probably wouldn't have. And then I was just doing some studying when this was going on, which then I was looking back, I'm like, there actually were some trades here. Not the best structure, but I charted this orange here at the end of the day. So I was trying to figure out, I was like, I think there's a less aggressive bullish controlled selling. So with this resistance flipping into support, that's how I got it. And then the resistance right there and then the break. And it did kind of redo it here, I think. Sort of, yeah. Rebuilt it there. Then just squeeze up. Okay, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Sub up, like up, comment down. Money sticks around. See you tomorrow. Peace out.